And trust me,
So now, there are things I want you to notice.
I never even had the meanest.
Today, we're going to be talking about this skip from Capricorn to Leo and the skip from Cancer to Aquarius. This meeting point here, this is what we want to be addressing today. And as we address it on the part of on the day, I also want to address it on the human body, so that when we are placing it on the day, you can easily comprehend what we are talking about. So let me just go back a little bit. So we have sunrise. What is sunrise? Sunrise is Capricorn. In fact, I think this thing will help me move back and forth. So let me just plug her in.
Like, everyone only listens to her because she's the head coach of it, or whatever. Figure out. So then she thinks I'm high and mighty over herself. Like, girl, you're so dumb. I want you.
Thank you.
If you died and I was going to own it.
Zumelang, everybody who's in class. So as you can see from my topic, sunrise is what? Capricorn bathing Leo. So what is the meaning of Capricorn bathing Leo? Let's go back. Let's go back to this. The process of Capricorn bathing Leo. Now what is Capricorn? Your self-use. Your ability to utilize yourself.
The ability to utilize
That's
yourself.
self-use. Kujituma.
Wouldn't be able to
Bathing Leo. Normally what would Capricorn bath? Capricorn would normally bath Aquarius. Your self-use would normally bath your self-knowledge. What would Cancer normally bath? Cancer would normally bath Leo. But then we have now a scenario where Capricorn is bathing Leo and Cancer is bathing Aquarius. So that is what we want to talk about today. And as I start, sunrise is Capricorn bathing Leo. Capricorn is the mother of Aquarius. But now we have a time when Capricorn is bathing Leo. That is what we call sunrise. Now what is it? Let's talk about the movement of energy first of all. Please don't ask questions when I'm here. I can't read there. So if you want me to deal with your question, unless you want to ask the class, if you want me to deal with your question, wait until I come there. Time me. So now, energy. How does energy start to move? From Aquarius to Pisces. And I'm going to be going back and forth. Aquarius to Pisces. This is the night. Where does it come from? It comes from this particular point, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus. Now let's find that. Let's look at that at sunrise. We have Aquarius, Pisces. You can take screenshots so that you can confirm as I go, as I teach, so that we stay together. Aquarius, Pisces, and then you go to Aries, then Taurus, then Gemini, then Cancer. And then from Cancer, let's go back and confirm. We'll keep going back and forth just to confirm. Aquarius, Pisces, that is the leg. The Achilles heel, the feet, then the head, then the neck, then the arms, then the chest. And then from the chest you go to the heart. From the heart you go to what? The stomach. Then from the stomach you go to the pelvic area. From the pelvic area you go to the private part, and then to your thighs, and then to your knees. So let's look at that in the human body. From Aquarius, Pisces, all the way to Aries. This is the left side of the body, by the way. Sun rises from the left. You just come from the sleep. So sunrise is from infinity into physical. Sunset is from physical into infinity. So now when you're coming from infinity into physical, that is what we call sunrise. And so it is Aquarius, Pisces, and then Aries. The left side of your body. And then Taurus. Then we have the Gemini. Then we have Cancer, Leo. Then it is still going. Cancer, Leo, Virgo. Then we have the pelvic area, which is Libra. After Libra, we have Scorpio, and then Sagittarius. After Sagittarius, we have Capricorn. Now from Capricorn, the energy doesn't go back to Aquarius and Pisces. And I'll go, when we are talking about sunrise now, we are talking about sunrise. Movement of energy from left to right. From infinity into the finite or the temporary consciousness. From the infinite consciousness to the temporary consciousness. From the spiritual realm to the physical realm. So it flows all the way like that up to Capricorn. So let's go back. Flows all the way like that up to Capricorn. The day is the same as the body. So it flows all the way like that up to Capricorn. Now we reach sunrise. Sunrise is when Capricorn gives birth to Leo instead of Aquarius. It doesn't go back to Aquarius. Crosses over to Leo. Now let's see what sunrise is in the human body. Wait. Look at this blue mark. Once we reach Capricorn, the sun rises. Literally, it is literal. That is what spirituality is all about. Spirituality is always about literal. So it literally, it comes and then it rises. Sun comes to Capricorn and then rises all the way to Leo. Then from Leo what happens? Let's go back to the day. From Leo we have Virgo, Libra, Scorpio. So now we have the land of the living, the non-real. And guys, let me just tell you something spooky. Everything that is here exists here, but it's not everything that is here exists here. So imagine, let's just pause for a minute. I tell you a spooky idea. This is the online world. This is offline. So literally the way we are, whatever is online is offline. But it is not everything that is offline that is online. So the night has entities. The night has all entities. Everything that is present on the planet, it is present in the night. There are some things that are present in the night that you cannot see in the day. There are certain entities that they only come around at night. They are not present in the day. So the day is like online. The way we come online, you log in. Everything that is online is present offline. But it is not everything that is present offline is present online. Anyway, let me continue. So I've told you about the sunrise from Aquarius all the way to Capricorn, and then that's rising. It goes to Leo. So let's go to what happens during the day. So this is what happens during the day. We stopped here. Look at our image up there. We stopped from Capricorn to Leo. This is where we are starting in the day. When you come to the day, that is exactly where you start. Then you start Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. Now we are in the afternoon, Aquarius, Pisces. Then we come here we're almost now, the sun is now starting to set. We are approaching evening. The sun is now starting to set at Aries, Taurus. And then by the time we are reaching Gemini, Cancer, the sun sets. All the way back to now, we are starting the next day. The next day now starts at Aquarius, Pisces, and then goes again. So the sun sets literally from here all the way to here. Now what is sunset? Cancer birthing Aquarius. Cancer normally births Leo, but now when feelings, you being by yourself,
What?
it makes you have downloads. Know yourself. That is the sunset. When you go back to sunrise, your utilization of yourself brings forth your self-love. That is where what is the sun rising is all about. When the sun rises, It comes and then it starts moving again and then it sets.
Yes.
So what can you notice about this particular diagram? What you'll notice specifically is the action. Let's notice the movement of this particular side, because this is what will explain to you astrocartography. If you don't comprehend this, you will not comprehend what astrocartography is. Astrocartography, the traveling of the ancestors. The traveling of the ancestors is the traveling of energy. So if you want to comprehend astrocartography, you must comprehend how energies move. Now from infinity, it moves. And then it ticks up. Then when the other one, it moves down and then it just comes. So you see, this movement is very easy. It doesn't require any rising. But then when you look at the movement from the ancestral realms, it is, there is that, and then there is that, and then this. Because of this is the reason why you can have this. Because there is that sun that rises, that occupies this particular space here. Is the reason why we have this, the ability for this to set all the way from Cancer to Aquarius. This can only do this because there is that rising that happened. So from today henceforth, when you're talking about sun rising and sun setting, then you must know how that energy moves in the body. How it moves during the day, in the right side of your body, and how it moves at night, in the left side of your body. Sit with it, if you can take screenshots to sit with how energy moves. I know I've talked about this before, but I wanted to just define that sunrise and sunset thing. Why we talk about sunset, movement from Cancer all the way to Aquarius. Why do we talk about sunrise? Movement from Capricorn all the way to Leo. So if you utilize yourself long enough, you end up at loving yourself. You feel yourself, you end up at knowing yourself. So you use yourself, you end up at loving yourself. It literally works like that. You use yourself long enough, you end up automatically at loving yourself. Though using yourself should normally give you self-knowledge. So if you want to have a sunrise, that is what it is all about. And during the night, your consciousness utilizes itself. During the night, your consciousness utilizes itself and then it rises to love. Then that love is capable of running you like petrol throughout the day. Until you get to a point where now you are knowing. Up to that particular point, anybody with a question that I want to answer before I move on to more interesting things? Mark that flow of energy because it is going to apply in a lot of things as we move on. Questions, please? S'il vous plaît. My people. Should I continue? Should I continue? I don't know whether you guys were able to see these things clearly. Let me see how you are seeing them. Oh yeah, I think you are. Thank you. Should I continue, my babies? There's no question. Niendele, I want to see Angela. So when they say the day is the same as the body, you now comprehend, ne? The same way energy flows in the body is the same way energy flows in the day. So let me continue to other topics. What to expect from July. Let me not say Julie. I have a neighbor called Jules. I hope she doesn't think I'm talking about her. How is it best to start our day? So here, let me go back. You know, I wanted these questions. Please ask questions. So you see, this is what the day. This is where the day starts. This is what the cycle that leads to sunset. So loving yourself, analyzing yourself, balancing yourself, desiring yourself. Literally everything I've always said. I've given you this before. You being useful to yourself. Here we are at noon. Useful to yourself. And then 1 p.m. we are approaching Aquarius there. No self-knowledge. Then Pisces, self-belief. Then we go all the way to Aries. In the evening. Now we are approaching evening, 3 p.m. 3 p.m. Yeah. Authenticity. And then we have self-support there, self-thinking there, and then self-feeling. Which by here you are in the evening. You are at evening now here. By the time you are here, you are at evening. Now you're moving into the night. You're moving into the night. The sun sets into the night, and then now on the night, you have another diagram now here. You remember that sun has set into the night here. So now we start here Aquarius, Pisces, and then we go. Here is 9. Is it called 9 p.m.? 21 hours. Yeah, I think 9 p.m. Start to see it confuses me so much. So by the time you're at 9 p.m., 10, 11, this is midnight here. From midnight, 1, 2, 3. By the time you are here, the sun is being born. By the time you are here, the sun is being born. And then you move to 4, which is 4 a.m. Scorpio. 5 a.m. Sagittarius there. 6 a.m. Capricorn here. Now you're waking up. The sun is rising. The sun is rising. The sun is rising. Back for you to start loving yourself. Are you getting the person who asked that question? Are you with me? Are you getting that flow of energy? If you sit with it properly and just look at it and practice it, it will make more sense to you. But you know, right now, it is not, and guys, when I tell you to use this, don't bulldoze. Don't bulldoze your way into it. You will hate me for no reason. You will bulldoze your way into it, and then itakushinda. Utafika mahali ushindwe. Because ulianza ya mamioto. And then unakuja unanichukia bure. Please, when I tell you to do this thing, just do the much that you can as an individual. Don't bulldoze your way that you're competing with somebody. Show up every day as much as you can, following this trend until you reach the day where your body will marry it. Your body can't marry it just once. Bah! That's it. No. Be graceful with yourself. Take your time when it comes to marrying this particular schedule. And you will be building slowly by slowly. This will be your masonry thing where you build with. This will be your watch, your clock that you build with. But don't bulldoze, you just move slowly by slowly by slowly. Just like I said, anybody who doesn't comprehend it at the body, here is the day. The day starts from here. Here the sun is rising. Sun is rising. Sun rises and then it moves through the day. The sun sets. Sun sets and then intuition is working on it at night. Working on it at night. Birth set here. Then here it goes. It rises again. So that is our infinite timeline. That's our infinite time thing. And it works best if you are an African timer. People who are not African timers, I feel very sorry for you guys, but I know we will reach a point where we will get it. If you are not an African timer, your brain will be scrambled by just you trying to get it the African way. But us who refuse to let go of the African time, it goes like new. It's like it falls into place like a jigsaw puzzle. So people who go by African time, I know you were laughed at, people were laughing at you that you are backward and everything. But that African time is the real time for you to master this properly. So I'm going to continue to other things. Oh shoot. Why did you do that? So let me move on to other things. What to expect from July? I've been getting anxiety 17/11. That's what? Is that Sagittarius time or Gemini time? Is that Sagittarius time or Gemini time to do with your ability to think for yourself? People thinking for you too much will jeopardize you in ways you will not believe. Anyway, and by the way, guys, now that she has talked about it, let me go back. Let me not show you. Now that she has talked about, guys, any disease is in these hours. Why do you not need to know these hours? Any disease is in these hours. When somebody attacks you for no reason, these hours, you get an accident. These hours will tell you the answers you need. Something happens that you don't know how to answer. Look at these hours. You fell sick. These hours. And if you can't look into the hours, look at the part of the body. You get your answers here. Those are the places with all the answers that you need. And it's never a coincidence. Like literally, the universe is very orderly. It is a female entity. Female entities are the most orderly beings. And so that's the multiverse. The multiverse is very orderly. And if you catch that order, you will know peace for the rest of your life. The universe, the multiverse is a feminine entity. Feminine entities are very orderly. If you catch its order, you have the marking scheme of life. What to expect from July? So now I want us to take a look at the moons of the year today. So I want to, because we've gone to this middle of the year, today I just want you to see what happens throughout the year as far as intuition is concerned. And what is intuition? What is the moon? It is a journey of loyalty to self. That is why the moon is related to dogs. The moon and dogs, they are friends. Why? Because dogs are loyalty, wolves, dogs, loyalty based. So what is the moon cycle? Moon cycle is the ability of a woman to be loyal to herself. Women are born to come here and be loyal to themselves. Women come into this dimension to be loyal to themselves. And the moon cycle is the journey of that loyalty throughout the 12 months of the year. And today I want to tell you each and every journey of that particular loyalty throughout the month. Because every year, every month has the same moon. It is the same moon that occurs every month. January moons are the same whether you come in January the 1st century or you come in January the 25th century or you come in January the 1st dynasty. The moons are the same. February, those moons are the same. March, those moons are the same. So what are they? So first of all, I want you to comprehend. Moon cycle is the journey of loyalty to self. Women, are you loyal to yourself? Are you loyal to your identity? Are you loyal to your bloodline? Are you loyal to your 12 houses? As a woman, Earth is a beauty pageant show. And each and every woman is a representation of their ancestors, going for the crown. And when you win the best crown, that crown sitting on your head is a representation of the best authenticity on the entire planet. And that particular authenticity is brought out by that loyalty to self, which is the moon. And each and every month we have a calendar. So I'm going to pass through them with you today so that, God willing, you master them and you act accordingly each and every moon cycle. So I'll start with December. I divided these particular things into 3 because we have the planting season, the harvest season, the storage season, and then the renewal season. So I'm starting with the renewal season. I hope people know what I'm talking about. The renewal season right before spring, that is December. Loyalty to self is deliberately tested, like intentionally. Every December, the full moon in December comes to test loyalty, your loyalty to yourself deliberately. How useful are you to yourself deliberately? That is the moon in December. Different people call it different things. Some people call it the cold moon because, you know, when you're being tested, nobody likes exams. So the cold moon, when you're, but at the end of the day, whatever people call it, at the end of the day, it's in December, the moon comes to test your loyalty to yourself as a woman. In January, full loyalty to self despite obstacles must be maintained. Self-knowledge. Now the moon in January now comes to tempt. And as you can see, even the pictorials have put, these are wolves. It is the loyalty moon in January. It comes to test your loyalty. Like, it comes to make sure that you maintain your loyalty. Those who can maintain their loyalty without their loyalty being taken away, they are the ones that stand in January, and that is why it is called the loyalty moon, or the wolf moon, or the dog moon. Because here you hold on to your self-loyalty like any minute you wiggle, it is gone. That is the moon in January. Then we have the moon in February. The moon in February brings death to any intuition that wasn't held here. Any loyalty that you did not hold in January, February comes to wipe it off. Any loyalty that wasn't held is covered in snow by February. Covered in hate, covered in... It is being wiped off. It is being cleansed off the planet. So that we only remain with loyals only. This is what happens during the renewal period. The renewal period makes sure that we only remain with people who are loyal. The loyalties, those who are loyal to themselves spiritually, are the ones who remain. As the snow, you know, snow is like fire, comes to burn out everything that did not hold its loyalty. So in December, loyalty is tested deliberately, intentionally, by force, whether you like it or not. In January, the wheat is separated from the chaff. The wheat is separated from the chaff. Those who are loyal to themselves remain. And then those who are not loyal to themselves are erased in February. Now, stay with me as I go on. In March, remember what happens in February? Death to anything that was not loyal to self. For what to happen in March, the March moon comes to do what? Survival of those that were loyal to self. So in March brings you survival to those that were loyal to self. But remember, in March is when we have the Lent period that you go to church, and then the Catholics, they put ash on your forehead like this. Killing your intuition, killing particular authenticity that you're trying to, that was surviving, the particular authenticity that survived here in February. And stay with me, guys, because next year now you will see this the way I usually see it, and you will see what I'm talking about. Now in February here, death to anything that was not loyal. So the loyals survive. When the loyals survive, they go to March. March is survival of those that were loyal to self. They survive in order to spring. After the snow lifts off, now they spring out. The ones that survived, they spring out. But then the Catholic Lent is placed right here. And what does the Catholic Lent do? It comes with the Lyrid meteor, which we are going to be talking about in April. So now in April, there is growth and stabilization of the surviving loyals. The loyals that survived February elimination, they make it to March. They spring in March, and then in April, they continue to grow daily. Remember, April is all about the 7 days of Asar, the 7-day planets. They continue to growth and stabilization of the surviving loyals. But guess what? We have the Lyrid meteor showers to enforce Lent. Now, what are the Lyrid meteor showers? This is where I always told you, music that you hear, there are people that orchestrate those music to the public.
We have to
They
figure out
carefully
doing
select the type of music that they put to
cycle
the
of your
public.
hair,
Now, that
how
is
to
what Lyrid
work
meteor
it
is
so
all
you
about.
can enjoy all stages of your hair.
To lower
this is too
lyrics.
freaky
It's almost like
deep,
lyrics, by the way. It's almost like lyrics to
beautiful.
lower vibrations. So that you confess it with your
Right,
mouth.
we
When
need
you
the hair
confess it with
conditioner
your mouth,
and
you
we're gonna
become it
begin.
immediately. You
Reese, we're gonna run out of time.
Still have 6 hours.
Yeah, I don't
Immediately, you
want to
suck.
be rushed.
immediately. If you know you are spiritual now, you are the people that survive this shit. Others, they get to wobble. When you find that today you are talking nicely with your family, tomorrow they made a decision that is demonic, you do not even know where it comes from. They are being affected by the meteor. There's constant attack that is constantly happening. So listen, April, growth and stabilization of the self-loyals. They get to May now, they survived. Remember, they survived in February, spring in March, grew in
Okay,
April.
old lady.
Now in May, fertilization time,
Here, take a crap.
flowering time, flowering of self-thinking.
Why are you covering up, girl?
Self-thinking is fertilization, meaning the self-loyals are ready to fruit, to expand. Self-loyals are ready to expand, to fruit. That is what May is all about. The May moon, that is what it brings. But there is an attack. The Eta Aquarid meteor shower. Eta Aquarid comes from the word Aquarius. Blockade. Here you're supposed to be thinking for yourself so that you get fertilized from the collective consciousness so that you create a new version of yourself. But guess what? There's an attack here to block you from thinking for yourself. This Eta Aquarid shower is like ignorance to self-thinking. For you not to believe your own thoughts or for you to ignore, to be ignorant to your own thoughts. That is Eta Aquarid, it happens there. Now remember, when we ignore the enemy, let's now ignore the enemy and let's go back. In December, loyalty of self is tested. January, those that pass the test stand. February, those that fail the test get eliminated. March, those that pass the test, they spring, they grow, they are given a chance to take up space. In April, they take up that space. In May, they are now ready. In May, they are now ready to become fruitful. They are now ready to be harvested, to plant authenticity that is going to make them even more loyal to themselves. That is what happens in May. Now in June, success fertilization. Successful fertilization, when you speak, people listen with their feelings. When you are engaging your Gemini energy, people listen with their Cancer energy. That's how people receive Gemini energy. So now that reception leads to successful fertilization and then flowering, or fertilization is the same as flowering process. So June is literally, you start seeing the fruits, okay? Here there was just flowering. Remember, flowers after fertilization is followed by fruits. Start seeing the fruits of that particular self-thinking or that particular authenticity that you harvested and you did not let go in February and January. Now in July, full loyalty to self is achieved. New self-love arises. So this is the point where people become fully loyal to themselves, fully stubborn. Like literally it is marked by this particular animal here, developing this the backs here. I mean, it is called the back moon because this particular animal here develops these particular things.
Antlers.
Almost like intuition now developing its,
Sorry.
don't fuck with me, like defense system. So full loyalty is achieved by the people who passed, and new self-love arises in July. And then in August, those loyal to self win and win and win. Now look, these are the meteors I want to talk about today. Here in July, we have a meteor called Delta Aquarid meteor to reverse that self-loyalty that has been achieved. That new self-loyalty and new self-love that you've achieved, there are few things that want it. There are things that want it. And then in August, after you achieve full self-loyalty, then you win. Self-loyalty makes you attractive. It makes you attractant to things. So then you win, but then guess what? This particular winning that is supposed to happen here in August, it has attacks here. Perseid meteor shower to cut neck and prevent wings. So now, what I wanted to talk about today mostly is about these particular showers here, which I'm going to explain. And after I explain them, I'm going to come back here so that you see how it affects this particular thing. But now, just talking about it shallowly, the Delta Aquarid meteor showers are here to reverse that loyalty to self, and I'll show you how. And then Perseid meteor showers are here to cut the neck and prevent winds, and I'll show you exactly how. As we finish with the last, this is the storage season. So let me go back and just start. This is the renewal season, renewal. This is the planting season. Planting season. Know what the planting season is all about. It has spring that supports self-support 7 days, showing up every 7 days, and then fertilization taking place. That is the planting season. And then we have harvest season. Harvest season, fruiting. You are harvesting, still self-love, you are harvesting. It's all about harvest there. And then, please don't ask questions first, I'm not even looking. September, here we have now the storage season. After you harvest, you must store. So how do, before we come to September, let's look at August. Those loyal to self, win. So in August, we have success, successful fertilization, full loyalty achieved, and self-love, and then those loyal to self win. And then in September, how do those who win in August distribute their wins to form new loyalties? So now the September moon comes to show you or to guide you or to test you on how you're going to distribute the wins that you achieved in August. How are you going to distribute them? And that particular distribution is what is going to test the loyalties, the new loyalties, hunting or attraction skills. So after whatever you won in August, you distribute it throughout your body here. After you distribute it throughout your body, now people see your 12 houses now. So some are going to say, hey, you're fat. Or some are going to say, hey, I don't like your stomach. Or some are going to say, hey, the way you've used your money or the way you've used your harvest, hey, you distributed it wrong. Or some people are going to say, hey, you have a hourglass body, you distributed it right. So how you distribute your harvest determines your attraction level here, which is your Scorpio energy, which is what? The hunting skills. Then we have meteors there, draconids and orionids. Meteor showers to block that. We will talk about them when we reach there. And then we have November, using the new loyalty hunting skills to go on a new adventure. This, now the body that you created here, or whatever image, or whatever persona, or whatever you created here of yourself, you use it now to go on a new adventure, which is now the December moon. The December moon comes to help you use the new loyalty you got to go on a new adventure. And that new adventure is going to return you where? To December, where loyalty to self is deliberately tested. So the loyalty that you harvested here in November, that you're going on a new adventure, now you get to December, now you get to December where that particular loyalty is tested afresh. That loyalty is tested in December deliberately to see the ones that survive. The ones that survive. The ones that don't survive are killed in February. The ones that are killed in February go. Now the ones that survived are in March. The ones that survived in March, they grow and stabilize in April. They grow and stabilize in April. They flower, ready for fertilization in May. Now, fertilization occurs in May, leads to fruiting in June. This fruiting that happens in June leads to achievement of even more self-loyalty, because you will realize your fertility level, you are fertile, you can expand. And so, you win, you expand, you win, you make more and more and more and more, using that particular self-love that you achieve. And then in September, that more and more and more that you make, you distribute it throughout your 12 houses. How you distribute it throughout your 12 houses determine whether you are attractive or ugly. If you are attractive, you are huntable, you are huntingable. If you are huntingable, you can go on a new adventure. When you go on a new adventure, that loyalty that you had that was huntingable here, it comes to be tested again in December. Tested, survive, whatever. Are you getting the rhythm? Are you getting the rhythm before I even go to the meteor? Because now we are here. And we have a meteor. We have an attack. And look, throughout the year, look at the type of attack. Here, during the renewal season, we don't have attack. Here in planting season, very important season, 2 attacks. Harvest season, very important season, 2 attacks. Storage season, this is the Nyash season, where you store now the energy, 2 attacks. So out of all, only one particular house, or only one, this one doesn't have any attack. Yeah, meteors are coming next, because now I'm going to be talking about these ones. These meteors here. I already explained to you this one. Be careful about the lyrics. Music, lyrics. April, music, lyrics. Think like music like this. Low vibrational music in April is not good though. Having people think for you in May, not good though. Having people tell you what to think in May, not good though. So now we are in July and August, and that's what I want to explain. But before I go to explaining that, are you getting what we are talking about? Yeah, so you see, the moon is a journey of loyalty, and that's how it moves. So now, right now, we are at a point where full loyalty to self is achieved. So I want to, have you achieved full loyalty to yourself? Even before I ask that, last month did you have successful fertilization and fruiting process? Not even successful fertilization and flowering process of May, which leads to the fruits. June is a fruiting moon. Did you fruit? When you walk through the year as a woman, you realize there are certain months where your loyalty to yourself is threatened more than certain months. It's all about this. There are certain months where they let you go scot-free. And then there are certain months where it feels like the door is closed. It's all here. How do we define loyalty? Your ability to prioritize yourself, your own essence. Your ability to want to win. Your ability to want to be the span that gets to penetrate the over. That's what loyalty is all about. Mokundeli. Your ability for you, Mukondeleli. Your ability as Mukondeleli individually. I'm not talking about you winning with your boss, with your CEO or whatever. Your ability to win as an individual. As Mukondeleli, as an individual entity. As a woman, your ability for your intuition to come to fruition. What do you want as a woman? Which castle are you building? Your ability to build that castle. That's what loyalty is. And it rules the moon. The moon is ruled by loyalty. Intuition is ruled by loyalty. Woman, you are like an intuition. Not all intuitions come real. But certain intuitions, they come real. So as a woman saying, I want to be one of those intuitions that come real. And you show up for it daily. You embark on it daily, hourly, every second. You are embarking on making sure that you are the best span in your own life, and especially in your bloodline. Because now when we are talking about winning against what? Your bloodline, your story. You are the one who knows your story. And never have your own story based on somebody else's story. You're the one who knows where you're going. Your ability to get where you're going. Without this being distracted, without being falling off, without being removed. That is what loyalty is all about, my dear. And women come to this planet to be loyal to themselves. Men come to be loyal to women. The sun comes to be loyal to the moon. The moon is loyal to itself. Women come to be loyal to themselves. Men come to be loyal to women. And men are only loyal to women who are loyal to themselves. I hope that gets somewhere. Men are only loyal to women who are loyal to themselves. Women come to be loyal to themselves. Men can never be loyal to women who are not loyal to themselves. Impossible for them. If you ask that of a man, you are killing his essence. It is impossible for them to be loyal to women who are not winning. It is impossible for a man to be loyal to a woman who is not truly winning, choosing herself, prioritizing herself, loyal to herself, building her own empire, and is sure and has an order in which their empire is being built. If you're not that kind of a woman and you're begging a man to be loyal to you, you're wasting your time. They don't have the capacity to. It's not like they don't want to, they don't have the capacity to. So now, what
Please
is
turn
Delta
a little.
Aquariid Meteor?
Not
But
complete.
before I even talk about Delta Aquariid Meteor, I want to talk about the Perseids Meteor because it comes fast. It comes fast. So the Perseid Meteor shower in July 7th, 17th to August 24th, I mean. Passage Meteor, July 17th to August 24th. Today, I don't even want you to master the dates too much. I just want you to master the story. So what is this story all about? I've talked to you guys about Zeus before, right? I've mentioned Zeus before. I've introduced you to Zeus before. Haven't I? I've talked about Zeus and the Olympics. They are the shrinkers of the Jupiter energy. Zeus is the shrinker of the Jupiter energy. Invented the Olympics so that the mediocrity could thrive and the talented could be shunned. That is what Zeus is all about. Zeus is a Greek god that was created to work against Heru, the link between the two lands. So Zeus had a son. If you don't know the story of Zeus, I'm going to tell you here shortly and briefly, in the way that I recall it. So Zeus had a son, which is called the Perseus or Perseus. You know the names, the Greek names, they are like that. So Perseus, you can look at the spelling there for your own study. So Perseus is the son of Zeus and a mortal Danae. I don't even want to get into Danae, but I've talked to you about Zeus. That is the most important thing to master there. So now Perseus murders who? Medusa. Stay with me in these stories because as a black person, nobody will tell you who these particular characters are. But these particular characters that are hidden in demonic masks, they are all black characters. They are all characters of infinite forces. When I mean black characters, I mean the characters of the night. The characters, infinite characters that live in the night. So now we have Medusa, which is the queen. Medusa is literally just the queen of expansion. If you read about her broadly, that is what will stand out to you most. Queen of expansion. And then we have Perseus, which is the son of Zeus. Stay with me there. Now, in this particular second image, now Perseus which is this guy here, as the son of Zeus, he was special to Zeus in some way and got a unicorn, a horse that, you know, this is just representation of free money, free inheritance, money that you did not work for, independence that you did not work for. That is what a horse with wings stands for. Free money that you just get, you know, flying independence is free money that you get probably from your ancestors. You don't know what they did. You just come and you find free money lying around. And it becomes your superpower. So now this is the son of Zeus. Who kills who? First of all, he kills Medusa. Down here, look at this woman. So free money. Listen to the story. So now free money kills expansion. Free money, money that you get for free kills the ability to expand. And then using the head, you know, the story goes like this, using now the head of Medusa, this guy was able to tame the sea monster that they call Cetus. Now who is Cetus? Cetus is represented by a whale. Spiritually, Cetus is represented by a whale. Now this is exaggeration of white people. White people exaggerate this to make it look like it was a monster, but it's just a whale. Now what is whale? On land, elephant is the biggest on land. In the waters, the whale is the biggest. So this boy here killing this particular thing here is like free money, using the head of expansion after chopping its head to kill the biggest totem in the spirit realm. The biggest totem in the spirit. It's like killing the elephant on land. Elephant is the biggest on land. So now killing the biggest creature in the sea is like killing the elephant of the sea, which is the whale. So the biggest creature of the sea. And then why? Why did this killing occur? Guys, listen to this particular story because it is your story as a black person. And the black people who are smart, you've already gotten your role in this particular, whatever I'm talking about. So now, why did this guy kill this woman and uses her head to tame this particular monster? They call it monster sea, but it's just the biggest creature in the sea. Because of this guy wanted to marry this girl. But this girl, every night, this girl would dream of the monster. Actually, they've represented it here, this monster, but there is at other places where they represent another monster. So this woman, them in their story, they portray that Perseus had to kill this creature because it was kidnapping this girl every night. But that is not the case. This girl was too horny for the monsters that protect the sea monsters. So there are certain monsters, the people that they call monsters, which is just black men. So a black man, a white man was mad that a woman, of which I'm going to tell you the identity of this woman, that this woman was crazy about people they called monsters. So they had to kill those monsters to make sure that he marries this girl. That is the story. But then the way they tell it is that this guy had to kill other people because they were kidnapping this girl at night. So they show it that they were kidnapping this girl at night, that in her dreams, that they kidnapped her in her dreams. But that kidnapping of her in her dreams was just her being horny for the black man's dick, because the white man's dick was small. That is the story there. So now, who is Andromeda? Portrayed here as a white woman. They portray her in the books as a white woman, but it was not a white woman. It's a woman of Ethiopian descent. Queen of Sheba, Queen of Saba. Now, with the Queen of Saba, Andromeda is the Queen of the Celestials. The Queen of the 7 planets, all planets. Like literally, the moment you figure out the 7 planets, you are the Queen of all planets. So now that Queen of Saba there, Queen of the 7 pillars, was literally in love. If you read the book, just read the book, you will know. The people who wrote it, they tried to hide it because they knew white people were going to get mad. But read the book. It was white people writing the story, changing the story actually. They never invented anything. Changing the story, and they changed it to make it so that these people are not mad. So look, there's a guy called Zeus, who is the shrinker, who is the opposer of the link between two lands. This guy murders the queen of expansion, which is Medusa. The one that was known to link between the two lands literally. Just by you seeing her, you'll get into the future immediately. Just by you seeing her, you'll get into the future immediately. And then this guy and some people, if you are not in the future, if you saw Medusa, you would turn into nothing. You'll shrink into nothingness if you're not in the future. So Medusa was like a walking Jupiter on the planet. A woman who, when you see, you are seeing your future already. If you are angelic. When you look at her and you're demonic, you see your demise immediately. So that was what Medusa was all about. And Zeus was the fighter of expansion. Births a son, gives the son free independence, flying money that they did not work for. To use that money to come cut Medusa's head, use Medusa's head to tame this particular creature. Because once the creature, the biggest creature in the spirit realm saw Medusa is like literally the queen of expansion. and this is the most expanded creature in the sea. By just seeing Medusa dead and powerless, disappears the creature immediately. So people who have mythical brains, you can know what I'm talking about. Did all this to make sure that Andromeda was no longer thinking about black men so that he could get her. And so now how does that relate to Perseid meteor? But Perseid meteor is all, this name comes from this. So it's like literally meteor, but it's enforcing this to keep on happening. So that meteor that starts from July 17th to August 24th, it is to enforce abandonment of expansion. And let's go back to the moons so that you can see. Those in August we have those loyal to self, win and win and win. So when you are loyal to yourself, you are supposed to expand so much into some of the biggest totems on the planet. But then we have the Perseid meteor showers to cut the neck of that expansion and prevent the winds. So when you hear about this, is just somebody who is mediocre killing what was infinite. Somebody who is mediocre killing what was infinite. Because they have a lot of monetary inheritance that the ancestors send them. And when you read the book, there's a lot that the ancestors give them. If you haven't watched or read a book about this particular story, you need to. It will show you a lot, especially now after I've explained it to you. And when you're a black person, you will be disgusted by how they represent the black characters there. They represent them as demons, literal demons. Medusa is a demon. They represent her as a demon there. But it was just an African woman. An African expansionist, African educators. African educators that connected the past and the future. Medusa is an entire identity of different people, of different women that were educators, that the white man came and uprooted here. So, the next one that we have is July. This particular thing, the two of them, the Delta Aquarid meteor showers and the Perseid meteor showers, they happen almost at the same time. This one starts before this, but this one ends before this. So let's go to the one in July, which is the Delta Aquarid meteor shower from July 21st to August 23rd. So remember, the other one starts at July 17th. This one starts at July 21st to August 23rd, where it is the Delta Aquarid. Look at what is supposed to be happening in July. Full loyalty to self. Achieved. New self-love arises. And then that is the time they slap you with Delta Aquarid meteor shower, which is there to counter the loyalty. So just like I told you last time, in July there's a lot of things that are going to be shaking your loyalty to yourself. Especially if you are at vibrations where you can still be accessed. There's a lot of things that are going to be coming. Aquarius is all about Aquarius energy. So Aquarius comes followed by, Aquarius is followed by Pisces, and then previous to Aquarius is Capricorn. So when a Delta Aquarius enter into the horizon, they kill your self-use, kill your self-belief, and then that loyalty that you inherited, gone, and that self-love that you harvested in July, gone. So now, how do you manage Please, when this particular, when they are entering, when the meteors are entering into your horizon, believe in yourself more and you be useful to yourself more. Believe in yourself more and be useful to yourself more so that you can counter those knowledge. Some of those knowledge will look innocent. They will look like they are real. They will look like they come from sources that are valuable, that are verified, that are valid. When that happens, please increase your use to yourself and increase your self-belief so that you are able to stand and love and harvest that love and loyalty the way you were supposed to. So up to that particular point, guys, if we can go back, I want us just to pass through this particular moon cycle just once more for you to see what we are talking about. So the moon cycle is the journey of loyalty to self for a woman, because only women go through moon cycle. Men don't go through moon cycle. So men don't need to be loyal to themselves. Women are the only ones who need to be loyal to themselves. That's why they are the only ones that experience this. December, loyalty to self is deliberately tested. January, full loyalty to self despite heavy obstacle maintained. February, death to anything that was not loyal to self. March, survival of those that were loyal to self. But then Catholic Lent tried to kill them, tried to erase them. April, growth and stabilization of surviving self-loyal. From April, we start getting livid meteor, music-based confusion. In May, flowering, which is self-thinking of the self-loyal, become ready to fruit. And here we have the Eta Aquarius meteor, which is just Aquarius energy, no ignorance. They are bringing now ignorance to tamper with that. Tamper with your ability to think for yourself. And then in June, successful fertilization, fruiting process of May. From the flowering process of May. Successful fertilization and fruiting. And then we have now full loyalty is achieved. Now here, this is the embodiment of harvest. This is the harvest period. This is the embodiment of harvest. Full loyalty achieved. And new self-love arises. But then we have Delta Aquarius meteor, showers to reverse that self-loyalty and self-love. So anything that is against your self-love and self-loyalty, don't fall for it. Be loyal to yourself and love yourself even more during this July. In August, those loyal to self win and win and win and win. But Perseid, which is the son of Zeus, meteor, showers come to cut that particular winning to prevent you from harvesting further. If you're supposed to harvest 3 million, they come to make sure that you only harvest 1,000. That is what this Perseid is. So please, get not, be not full of this particular thing that would want you to restrict your expansion before time. Now, in September, whatever you harvested in August, how do those who win in August distribute their wins? To form new loyalties. And the new loyalties that they form, we test their new loyalties hunting skills. The new loyalties that we form, we test their hunting and attracting skills, but we have the draconism. We will talk about this story as well. Using the new loyalties, hunting skills to go on a new adventure. But then you have Taurus and Leonis. This is Taurus and Leo. This is, preventing you from supporting yourself and loving. But we will talk about that when we get there. And then using the new loyalty, hunting skills to go on a new adventure, which takes you back to December where the loyalty to self is inside that new adventure. Loyalty to self is delivered to be tested yet again. And the cycle continues and continues and continues. Up to that point, any question, please? Do you now know who Medusa is? Do you know who Medusa is? Andromeda, and this Queen of Sheba, like literally these African women. Sheba was located at Cush, that's Cush area. These women who have 7 days, women who are aware, self-aware. Women who are self-aware are beautiful. All men want them, but then they have certain men that they want. This man does not want like that. So this man positions himself that I'm going to save her from those men that she like. I'm going to save her from those men that she likes so she can marry me. And he goes to save her from the men. And she becomes albedo as well. Because now she doesn't, Andromeda now, Queen of Sheba now becomes Andromeda. Which is now a Queen of Sheba that is no longer a Queen of Sheba because now she doesn't harvest for 7 days anymore. The moment she becomes married to this guy, she doesn't harvest for 7 days anymore. But this guy has what? A flying horse, free money from the ancestral world. But then, you cannot compare it to the real expansion of the world. So guys, I hope you get the story. Go watch it, go read about it. This is my interpretation of it. Different people have different interpretations. Go listen to them and make your own decision. I thought that is self-explanatory. I thought everybody knew the hairs are lost. Have you ever seen a human being with, like, her hair were awake? Her hair were awake so much that they seemed like they were moving on their own. The exaggeration, it's exaggeration of love. Should be self-explanatory. No, this guy wanted this girl. Now Medusa is an entity. This girl would have become this. This girl would have become this Medusa if she would have not been taken by this. If this story did not happen, then this would be Medusa. This would be Medusa. Because, Queen of Sheba eventually becomes Medusa. When you harvest the 7 days, eventually you become an expansion deity. Are you getting it? How somebody's getting it? You don't look at it literally, please. When you are accessing mythology, don't look at it literally like these are human beings. There's no human beings here. These are character traits. So somebody's already saying, Medusa became, did I say Medusa became the Queen of Sheba? Please listen to what I say. If none of this happened, this naturally turns into this. But did she turn into that? No, because this happened. So Serena, when you come asking me, so the Queen of Sheba became that, you are making up your own words and your own story by misquoting what I've said. So don't go tell anybody that I said, oh, she told us that Andromeda becomes the Medusa. I told you if the natural process continues, Queen of Sheba, before she turned into Andromeda, Queen of Sheba is the one that turns into Medusa. If the story continues. So even right now in Africa, all Queens of Shebas are headed to becoming Medusa. So Medusa, when I am Medusa, you are Medusa, somebody else is Medusa, you are just linking the link between two lands. You are linking people between the two lands. It's almost like female educators, female guardians of the galaxy, something like that. That is what Medusa is. Medusa was a queen that was in touch with the cosmos completely. The guardian of the galaxy almost like. Any more question, please? So the story did not go. This is what interacts. So even you, your journey to becoming Medusa, your journey from Queen of Sheba to becoming Medusa can be interrupted by this guy here. These people, these colonizers here that have free money, Israeli people. People who have free money from their ancestors, these ones. Free independent. Oh, this land was promised to me 3,000 years ago. Those are these people. And their target is this girl. They target this one. They target these queens of Sheba here. They don't want this queen of Sheba to interact with the true now kings of Sheba. Because when you watch this particular story, you will see that this boy fought some guy who was the one that was connected to Medusa and this. So there are certain characters here that have not included. So that's why I'm telling you, go watch the real story. I cannot include the entire story here, but that is brief synopsis of this particular story. And when we talk about the Perseid meteor that is happening from July to August, that is the reason why I'm telling you this story. This is the story that happened. So some colonial ships will block you from harvesting the 7 days. And it will show up as though it is serving you. So be careful. It will show up as if it is concerned for you, like it is right, like a... What else? You get the story. So after that point, tuko pamoja. Before I get to my last thing and then I go. Is there any more questions? Thank you, Serena. Any more questions, guys? Are you enjoying today's class or you are confused as fuck? But at least I mentioned Zeus here and there. So now when I bring you the full story, I hope it's not so confusing. Mama Nikwa, where are you with this story? Is Mama Nikwa here? Yeah, so I think let me move on. Okay. Yeah, black women are very powerful. And you will realize it as we go. You will see more of it as we go. So let me just finish. Somebody asked, I'm going to finish with this. Somebody asked me this question. And even though I answered them in the inbox, I still want to elaborate it for the people who may be asking the same question. Okay, good. And don't forget to find these particular stories on your own. Go watch movies if you are a visual character. Go read books if you are a Gemini character. But just find stories about Zeus and watch them. Zeus and the sun. And that sun, the sun is born on a silver platter completely. But anyway, I did not come here to talk about that entire story. Maybe one day I'll do a story time of these mythologies. Believe in themselves. Pisces should be the worshippers of the zodiac. What is believing in yourself? Believing in yourself is showing up daily connected to yourself. That is what Pisces are all about. And when you believe in yourself, it helps with the immune system.
No.
You do not have attacks. It's like being a prayerful warrior, a prayer warrior. Pisces is just a prayer warrior. But now remove prayer. Pisces is just a manifestation warrior. Yes, a manifestation warrior. The way Christian calls it, prayer warrior. Pisces are manifestation warrior, ritual warriors. If you're a Pisces, you should be a very spiritual being.
Okay.
Anyway, sun distribution. distribution on the 4 major identities. So remember, we have sun twice. You have sun from the sun, and then you have sun from yourself. How you see yourself, and then how you are seen from the outside world. So how do different identities interact with that? So when you come here, the Bantus, people are outside, like the sun, give them positive energy. And even then, they give themselves positive energy. This is how a Bantu is built. And by then, I'm going to define Bantus at the end of the day. Because some people, they are Bantus today just because they were born as Bantus. But they don't live by the Bantu way. And which are the Bantu ways? It's like living like a woman, self-prioritization, self-respect, self-authority, magnification, just self, like being with yourself, being all about yourself. That is what about Bantu. So when you're somebody who you are all about yourself, you're authentic. You're authentic, you're all about yourself, then you'll get positivity from outside and positivity from yourself. Niloids. Niloids are like the children of Bantus. Niloids are like Bantus in the physical dimension. Bantus live in the spirit realm. When they come to this physical dimension, Bantu is the head, Niloid is all the way down. All the way, the feet, the Pisces. While Bantu is Aries, Niloid is Asset. It's like polar opposite. When Bantu is Asset, Aries, Niloid is Heru, Pisces, down there. So it's like Bantu is in the spirit realm, and then a Bantu in the physical dimension is a Niloid. Still the same people, still identical. Pathogenesis produced. So now, these ones also, Nilotic, also receive positivity from the sun and positivity from self. Now where the camouflage, the mixtures, neither Bantu nor Nilotic, they just mixed there. Mixed Bantu and Nilotics. These, the children of Nephthys, they are the in-between, the camouflaging, the point of change. These Nephthys, they receive automatically. Nephthys, they don't get positive energy from the sun. Nephthys, they get negative energy from the sun, from outside, automatically, and they have positive energy within themselves. And I'll tell you this, you might not visualize it in your brain, but let me tell you this. Like, for example, if you meet somebody who, today they agreed with you, tomorrow they are not. Or somebody who you don't know whether they agree with you or not. Like, you don't know whether they are on your side or not. Automatically, people give them like, oh, I don't trust you. Oh, I don't trust you. That is naturally for the Nephthys. People don't know where, like the outside doesn't know where it stands with them. So now they receive negative from the outside, positive from the inside. Now this is the most interesting, because this is the study. This is the menace we have on this particular planet. They receive positive from outside, negative from inside. This is how they're built. Why? When you see a white person, no, automatically they don't like themselves. They judge themselves. They talk shit about themselves. The most, more than anybody else. From self, they receive negative so much. But from outside, people give them positive. And this is how it's supposed to be. Until they weaponize this. Until they came to a point where they weaponize this. So that they want everybody to be them. To be like them. Like to be like them. And we live in a world where now everybody's like them. Because these ones are born with natural self-hate, but the outside doesn't treat them like that naturally. These ones are born with natural self-love, but the outside world doesn't give it to them. These ones are born with natural self-love, outside world naturally loves. Natural self-love, outside world naturally loves. This one, natural, outside world naturally loves, inside hate. So if you don't know what goes on inside albedo people, no, this is what goes on inside. Even if they don't admit it, imagine. Anything that doesn't have melanin on its skin is being pushed to write. Pushed to put some ink on. Pushed to have some writings on the wall. So they are always under pressure from within themselves to create. And that makes them natural self-bullies. Hence many diseases, hence weird diseases. They dominate in the world of disease because their relationship with self is very negative, but then there is positive from. So if you, anyway, let me not get into it more. There's the person who asked this particular question, I hope that you got answered, because the way you described it to me was not the way I had described it. But now this is the way it is. If you know you are Bantu, you receive positive from the sun, positive from self. Niloid, positive from the sun, positive from self. Nephthys, negative from the sun, positive from self. And then Set, positive from the sun, negative from self. So let's look at them inside the day. Just like I told you, this here, somewhere from here all the way to somewhere here. The sun is giving, they are receiving from the sun. These are the Nephthys children, the sun is giving. And then from somewhere here, the sun is taking and not giving that much during this particular time in the morning. So Nephthys, they are under pressure. When you see mixed people, they are under pressure to choose a side. And most of the time, they become the Bantus. When they survive, they become the Bantus. Then we have Nilotics here. We have the children of Set here, Nephthys, Bantus, Niloid, children of Set, Nephthys. Nephthys are on their way to becoming Bantu. So the sun is taking from them. The sun. Now, you might ask, why is the sun taking from Nephthys children here? Why is the sun taking from them? To make them gold. Like they are at a point where they are going through that pressure to become gold, to become the Bantus, to become a new black people. So yeah, somebody has comprehended. So if you don't know what goes on between any race, just know when you meet a black person, in the natural order, a black person is supposed to receive love from outside and love themselves from inside. These are the black people. And then an Asian person, automatically they don't get that much love from outside, but they love themselves regardless. So that keeps them going. So an Asian person, they love themselves. So if you even try to mess with them, they will do. But, because the sun is picking the very tiny mistakes so that they become perfect. And then the children of Set, they are children. So the sun is giving them so that they start writing, using whatever the sun is giving them to write here so that they become positive. But we live in a world where now almost everything is negative here. Negative, 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 negative. Almost, here is like, we live in a world where here is positive, positive, and then negative, 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 positive, positive. That's the world we live in. These ones are like they behave like they're loving themselves, but they don't. So they just behave. Have you ever seen a narcissist? A narcissist who hates themselves, but they're trying to pretend like they love themselves. But deep, when they're alone, they know they hate themselves. They want everyone to think like they love themselves, but they know they hate themselves. Those are the albedo people. I know Nephthys hate themselves. Yeah, that's how you lose. Because also know it's not permanent to be here, it's not permanent to be here, it's not permanent to be here, it's not permanent to be here. People can shift. These people can come here, these people can come here, these people can come here, this can come here, can come here. It is not
A few more minutes
like
and I'll
this.
wash it
Stop.
up.
People change every time. You see, somebody was born black, like Michael Jackson, and then they fade over time and they end up here. Born here, end up here. So anytime you hate yourself, you are manifesting albedo skin color. Anytime you are hateful on yourself, you are manifesting albedo skin color. So if you want albedo skin color and you don't want the quickie bleaching korogo, you can just start hating yourself. And it's not a bad thing. When you hate yourself, you are removing what your ancestors wrote. Maybe you have better writings to do after that. So also there is no judgment. Also don't walk around judging vitiligos, nini. Just know that people are making their own decisions. But look at the writings on the walls and know what is happening. Because there are certain people who they don't want to associate with their ancestors. There are certain people who they don't want to associate with their ancestors. So what do? They fade the ink so that they can start writing afresh. Allowed. That is allowed. Because also you've seen vitiligo people who have gone back. They were having it, then they don't have it anymore. They've grown back their skin. So you can always, it is fluid. Anybody can become anything here. A Bantu can become albedo. Niloid can become albedo. Neptis can become albedo. Set can become Bantu. This one can become, anybody can become anyone. Depending on the path that you choose. And here is the path. You love yourself automatically as a Bantu, automatically you get love from outside. You love yourself automatically as a Niloid, automatically you get love outside. You love yourself as a camouflage, as a chameleon, automatically you get scrutinized. And then you don't love yourself, the outside will always love you. Imagine the birds, the cats, they love you even if you think you're the ugliest thing on the planet. The cats, they will always love you. Unless you are a camouflage that they need to now make to develop into a new entity. So these ones are in the process of becoming new. Or becoming infinite. These are at the process of becoming infinite. These are infinite, in the process of becoming infinite. So they must be better. And then these ones, they are being loved so that they can write. So if you want to be this, just stop loving yourself. If you want to associate with this, just camouflage. And you will know that nobody likes camouflaging people. So even in your camouflage, don't expect love. But camouflage regardless, guys. It will help you. Anytime you camouflage, even you, let's remove Neftis from there. The Asians, let's remove them. Even you in your life, every time you camouflage, you become either best or you die. When you use camouflage wisely, you equip yourself so much that you become an entity that is very powerful. So people who experience camouflage, it's not, nobody likes camouflage. Nobody likes camouflage. Camouflagers are the only ones who like camouflaging. But then camouflaging is not a bad thing. It's good, it's self-protection, it's self-preservation until you get to your destination. How do we camouflage properly? By just being authentic. Authenticity at the end of the day is the mother of camouflage. Camouflage is wearing mask. So if you know that you are dealing with a thief, just know that it's a thief and then act accordingly. You don't want to show your true self to a thief, so you wear a mask around the thief. You camouflaged. Camouflage comes when you are dealing with situations. Okay, now you had, another reason to camouflage, maybe you hadn't met a particular information, so you made a certain decision. But then you met an information that made you look at that decision that you made and be like, hey, if I had this information, I wouldn't have made this decision, so cancel. Camouflage. Your ability to be authentic is where camouflage comes from. Your ability to know that, oh, this is how we feel from the inside, so this is exactly how we're going to behave. It's like masking. It's like Elon Musk. Camouflaging is like Elon Musk. You know, we live in a very interesting timeline where people have very interesting names. But anyway, guys, this is all that I had for you today. And from next Wednesday, we are going to be not be learning about that table anymore. We're going to be moving on to other things, and especially getting into, you know, the most important part of the 12 houses, which is the Gemini parts. It's because of the Gemini parts that you can even touch anyone. Do you think if you did not have hands, you would be able to touch anybody? Just introducing the topic for next week. Do you think if you did not have hands, you'll be able to physically touch anyone or anything? I've asked us a question. Yes, I'm waiting, my dear. Yeah, so Gemini is the only way we interact with our world. And guess where that is? Self-thinking. It's only through thoughts that you're capable of attacking. Especially in the spirit realm. Gemini is the only way you touch anybody in the spirit realm. And that is where Heka energy comes in. That's where Heka. So we will be talking about the art of touching each other. From next week, we're going to be entering into the art of touching each other. How to touch each other. What is the result of touching each other? How do you benefit from touching each other? And that is what Heka energy is all about. And that is what we're going to be doing from next week on. So I'm excited. Personally, I enjoy learning about Heka, and I enjoy teaching it also. Which question, my dear? I haven't seen. Okay, can you switch the screenshot from earlier about sunrise and sunset? Okay, which one? Okay. So this is the sunrise. I think. Sunrise. So this is where astrocartography will also come in. So we'll just learn about it slowly by slowly. And then sunset is there. Sunset is there. And then them side by side is there. Them side by side is there. So notice that sunrise is associated with the night, and then sunset is associated with the day. Yes, sunsets seem long floor. No, actually, the night is the one that is okay. Long, maybe,
Oh, it's so sweet.
but
It's so sweet.
the one that is the most energetic. Because notice this one start like this, choo shoop, and then this one goes like this, choo shoop, choo shoop, and then this one goes choo shoop, choo shoop. Ah, yeah. Oh wow. It's almost like you came. So you should pay attention to your patriarchal, how they were useful to themselves, because that's probably what birthed you. Whatever your profession your dad was in, probably related to yours. Yeah. So guys, that's all I have for you guys today. And I hope that you learned something as usual. I hope that you learned something as usual. And can I see you next time? Today I was so tired, I couldn't stand so much. But probably next time I will be teaching while standing there. And as we've started with the moon also, Heka energy has everything to do with the moon cycle as well. So get ready, and if you're a woman, please just keep coming, because now we are getting into the woman's parts mostly more. You know me, I'm women centered, so the only thing men do in my life is be useful. But mostly, I'm very women-centered. I teach because everything is woman. Once you teach the woman part, the man part falls into place. So even Heka energy is all about the woman. Remember, the woman is dominating the upper parts. When we'll be talking about the Capricorn energy, you know, the legs energy, now we are talking about the men. Which you notice the legs are just a duplicate of the hands. The legs are just a duplicate of the hands. So women think and then men become. Women think and then men become. But anyway, that's what we're going to be talking about in the next class. So thank you for coming. And see you next time, right? Right? See you next time, right? Yeah. I appreciate you guys as well. It's always mutual. Very mutual. Always mutual. I respect you guys. I appreciate you guys. Vouch for you guys. Rooting for you. I'm on your team. Yeah, I'm on your team. Even if you're not on your own team, I'm on your own team. So thank you guys for coming. And survive the son of Zeus. Survive the son of Zeus, okay? Bye. Yeah. See you guys.